Shalom, Makim. I want to start out by giving all praises, all honor, and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and our apostles of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the earth, and also the brothers that teach this word in sincerity. This is the brother Iwalami from GMS Chicago. Come back at you with another lesson to I'm just basically entitled the lesson, eating defiled bread among the Gentiles. Because here in this society, this society is ran by the world at that matter. It's run by, the devil, starting with these elites, Esau Edom, which is a self-proclaimed white man. As the scriptures go into, the whole earth is out of course. By the whole earth being out of course, different things is destroyed because of that. The foods, the weather that we breathe in, but focusing on the foods, Esau Edom mixes a lot of, abominable things in with these foods. For example, like things like pork, things that goes against the dietary law Esau Edom puts, within the food to ultimately make our people continue in sin. But the case being, the foods that we eat, mainly here in America, is no good. Because what? Esau Edom, creates or forges, things like 3D printed food, GMOs. So I had this video right here basically going into that, because what? The foods that we eat, it's no good. That's why brothers, go into, things like reading labels and things like that, basically looking out for your health. We're not going to get 100% with our health on this side because what? Everything is defiled. But I'm going to jump into this video and I'm going to jump into some precepts afterwards.
Exactly. Here's the deal. New research from the Mayo Clinic is showing that it can increase the risk for metabolic syndrome, especially for women. And that can mean increased risk for heart problems, stroke, and diabetes. But researchers say it's not just ramen. Any instant noodle products could be putting you in danger if you're eating them more than twice a week. So why are women affected the most? Probably because of BPA that's found in the packaging, which is known to...
A lot of jakes that's struggling, they eat things like this, ramen noodles and different things like that, because what? It's, it's very cheap and, it's very easy to go by, jakes that's struggling and different things like that, because a lot of these different products, have starch in it, causes heart problems and different things like that. That's why the Lord gave us a dietary law of foods to stay away from and foods that's okay to eat, But like I said before at the beginning of the lesson, Esau Edom made it a way that he's mixing different abominable, foods within foods that's, will be considered okay. And, he, pushes it out among our people, into the public,
mess with those estrogen levels. And a flashback for you tonight from our newscast back in 2012. And a look at what exactly happens once ramen noodles make it into your stomach. And it's all thanks to a camera swallowed like a pill. You can see the stomach contracting back and forth, trying to grind up those noodles.
Striking thing about our experiment, when you look at a time interval, 1 hour or 2 hours, we noticed that processed ramen noodles were less broken down than homemade ramen noodles.
And take a closer look. You can clearly see the difference between...
Yeah, and that's, that's the type of food that we're consuming. The Bible talks about, eating defiled bread among the Gentiles. But I'm going to keep, I'm going to just jump into some precepts. I don't want to, keep going on. So this is the book of Ezekiel 4:13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, right? These heathen nations, Esau all the way down to, Ammon, these different, the heathen nations, the 18 nations, that the Lord doesn't care about, Since we went into captivity, we were spread across all these different lands. Our people adjusted to that lifestyle, eating what these heathens eat. To make it worse, in 2021, talking about our people, they eat what the hell they want to eat, pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, going against the dietary law. And to make things even worse, like I said before at the beginning of the lesson, Esau Edom mixes a lot of abominable substances, in these different foods that would be considered okay to eat. Shall the children of Israel eat that defiled bread among the Gentiles? Whether I will drive them, right? Going into captivity, we were forced to eat different things, that these heathens eat, that goes against the dietary law. And that video I just played would be a clear example of that. Even the food that we eat now, it's not considered real food because what? You will eat something and you won't be satisfied in what you eat because a lot of these food doesn't carry no real. I'm just leave it at the fact that these foods is not real. It doesn't do nothing for your body. Instead of doing something for your body, it's going to destroy your body. But with that being said, let's go into the dietary law. Read about that in Leviticus. This is the book of I'm gonna start at 1. This is the book of Leviticus 11:1. And the Lord spake unto Moses and Aaron, saying unto them, verse 2, speak unto the children of Israel, saying, these are the beasts which ye shall eat among the beasts that are on the earth. Verse 3, whatsoever part of the hoof and of cloven footed and cheweth the cud among the beasts ye shall eat. And also I might add, was another video going around also that going into the whole pork situation and things like that, which our people are not supposed to eat, but our people do anyways. It was basically a video going around of a Jake basically filming how how they handle pork products and things like that, how they will leave the plastic in the pork and different things like that, because you need to understand that the hog, which is the pig, it cannot be clean with no matter what you do to it. A pig is like a vacuum to the earth. They made to clean up the garbage that's left behind. And basically, like I said before, they mix these different things in with the products, and that's why it's very important that you check different labels and things like that. Even if you do that, that's why it's always important to pray over your food. Because what, you don't know what the hell that Esau Edom be putting behind these different foods. Verse 4, nevertheless, these shall ye not eat of them that cheweth the cud, or of them that divideth the hoof, as the camel, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. Verse 5, and the coney, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. Right? He's basically going into these different animals that is okay and not okay to eat. Verse 6, and the hare, which is the rabbit, because he cheweth the cud, but divideth not the hoof, he is unclean to you. And verse 7, and the swine, right? The swine is going into the pit. Though he divideth the hoof and be cloven footed, he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you. Verse 8, of their flesh shall ye not eat, and their carcasses shall ye not touch, they are unclean to you. Yeah, we eating the foul, foods among the Gentiles, to make it worse. Our people eat what they want to eat. That's why a lot of our people, have different things like heart diseases, different things like that, because they don't eat right. They eat the foul foods. A lot of these black females, a lot of Jakes, eat shrimp, pork, crab, and lobster, because while I work, that's all Jake grab. The thing is, when you go into these different supermarkets, that's, they have things like end caps and things like that. When you first walk into a store, the first thing you will see when you walk into a store or a supermarket is, these big establishments putting shrimp, on at the beginning of the entrance. So, that, they know what gets Jake attention. Jake is going to grab it. They had shrimp, ready at the entrance for Jake just to grab, because these people know that Jake is going to grab it. We eat a lot of bullshit in this place, but let's continue. I'm gonna start at Deuteronomy 14:2. For thou art an holy people, holy men and separate unto the Lord thy power, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth. While we're separate unto the Lord gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. We're different from these other nations. That's why we're not supposed to be eating these different things, because it's a heathenistic thing to do, to eat these certain things, these abominable things. And it's going to jump into it. Verse 3, thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. Verse 4, these are the beasts which ye shall eat, the ox, the sheep, and the goat. Verse 5, the hart, and the roebuck, and the fallow deer, and the wild goat, and the pygarg, and the wild ox, and the chamois. Verse 6, and every beast that part of the hoof and cleaveth the cleft, and to two claws and cheweth the cud among the beasts that ye shall eat. Right, basically going into the Lord makes a distinct separation of things you should eat and things you should not eat. But like I said before, going into the beginning of the lesson, things is things Esau Edom, him being the devil that he is, he destroys clean food. Quote unquote clean food, by adding these different abominable products to it, like pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, for example, And I'm going to close out with this one, just to basically show you this is the type of society that we're living in, that everything is polluted. I'm going to start at 4. This is the book of Isaiah 24:4. The earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. And here's the point. Isaiah 24:5. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. And why is the earth, defiled? Going back to what? Job 9:24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. That's why everything is out of course. That's why the food that we eat, it's not food. Because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant. Right. Esau Edom has broken the everlasting covenant because he's the one in rulership right now. He's supposed to be enforcing the laws, of what people supposed to eat and cannot eat. But him being the devil that he is, he's not going to do that. Think of things like McDonald's. That's a whole nother lesson in itself, I'm not finna get into it, but brothers know the whole McDonald's situation of them. Lord, when I make another lesson on it, but I'm ending it off right there. Lord, when I hope this is edifying to the elect, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone who taught me this truth. Salutations to the hopeful elect that's around the four corners of the earth, and also the brothers that teach the word in sincerity. Lord, when I hope this is edifying, the Lord want to come back with another lesson soon. Shalom.